Good morning, guys. How are you today? Fine? Today we will start a new lesson that is fractions. So our lesson today is about fractions. We took in grade 4 um, what do I mean by fractions and how do we write a fraction. I will revise for you fractions. Lesson 1 in this math book revision revision for the fractions in grade that you took it in grade 4. Okay, so fractions. What is a fraction? A fraction is a quantity that is not a whole number. It's not a number, it's a fraction. We use it for what? They are useful whenever we need this to split things up. So if we are dividing something, if we are splitting something, we will use what? A fraction. For example, if we are splitting here or if we are cutting the cake into pieces, so we will use a fraction to represent this quantity. Okay. Mario uses fractions for what? To split up his pizza. So we use a fraction to split up the cake into pieces, to split up the pizza. He will divide this pizza into pieces. How many parts will he cut it into if he's sharing with his brother? Okay. Mario splits the pizza into two equal parts. So he divides the pizza into two equal parts. Into two equal parts. Each part represents a fraction. So we are talking about fraction here. Why? Because we are splitting. We are splitting the pizza into two equal parts. So we are talking about fraction to represent this quantity. Type. Each part, he divides this pizza into two equal parts. So he divided into two halves. Each part, we call it half. This part here half of a pizza, and this part also here half of the pizza. Okay, so he divides the pizza into two halves. It's important that the parts are equal. Yes, in a fraction, if you are dividing something, if you are dividing the pizza, for example, into pieces, هيدول pieces, all of them should have the same size. I can't divide it into one big and one small. No, all pieces should have the same size. I will divide them equally. Type. How do we write half? Did you remember how do we write half as a fraction? It's 1 over 2. So 1 over 2 means what? Means half. Half of the pizza. He divides it into two halves. Right. Which of these shapes are split into halves? The first one, yes. Why? Because he divides this pizza into two equal parts. Each part represents half. The second one, no, why? Because this part is not the same as this part. Is it equal parts? No. The third one, no. Why? Because when I say half, I mean the two parts should have the same size. No, this part, the colored one, he bigger than this one. Here, yes, because he divides this square into two equal parts, two triangles. Okay, so yes, it represents a half. Here, yes, also, because these two parts are equal of same size. Here, no, it's not a half because this part is smaller than this one. Okay, طيب. One half can be written like this. This is the half. هيدا هو الفراكشن half. It's 1 over 2. As you can see here, fractions are made up of two different parts. A number that's written up at the top and the number that's written where down at the bottom. Okay? طيب. One part on the top and one part where on the bottom. What do we call the number that's written at the top and what do we call the number that's written at the bottom? The top number is the number of shaded part. What do I mean by shaded? Who we colored. Okay? If we color, for example, if we color here just one part, so the number that's written up should be 1 لأنه ال1 هو number of colored parts. The number that's written down هو total number of equal parts. Into how many parts I divide this pizza? Into two equal parts. So the number that's written down should be 2. So At the top, we will write the number of the colored parts. At the bottom, we will write the total number. Okay, study them, please. At the top, we will write the number of colored parts. At the bottom, the total number of equal parts. What do we call these two numbers? Numerator and denominator. Did you remember? We took it before in grade 4. So the number that's written at the top اللي هو ال1 we call it numerator. The number that's written down we call it denominator. So D down, okay? So down we call it denominator. Up we call it numerator. So 1 is the numerator and 2 is the denominator. So numerator is the top part. It shows the number of colored parts. Whereas denominator is the bottom part, it shows the total number of equal parts. Okay, this is the fractions. Now let's do activity 1. Which page? Copy it on your math book, page 80. Let's do activity 1. We revised the fractions. How do we write a fraction? Now let's do activity 1, page 80. Write the fraction that represents the colored part. We said in order to write a fraction, we must divide this square into equal parts. All parts should be equal, of same size. Here we divided into 4 equal parts. كلهم عندهم same size. So let's talk about fraction. Up we will write the number of colored parts. How many parts did I colored? I colored 2. Out of the total. The bottom هو التوtal. What is the total number? 1, 2, 3, 4. So 2 out of 4. Okay, some students will say half. Half it's correct because we colored half of this square. Half or 2 over 4, they are equal. How many parts did I color? 3 out of a total. So denominator represents the total, not the remaining number. I can't say, for example, here 2 out of 2. No, 2 out of the total اللي هو 4. And here 3 out of the total. So I will count the 3 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 3 out of 10. Here, is this part the same as this part? Is this square divided into 2 equal parts? No, it's not the same. So I can't talk about a fraction until I divide it into equal parts. This part, it's form shape like a triangle. So I will divide it first into triangles. Then I will write the fraction. Now this part is a triangle. This one is a triangle. Triangle, triangle. All of them have the same size. Okay. How many parts did I color from these? I colored just one part out of 1, 2, 3, 4 parts. So I must divide any shape into equal parts. كلهم بده يكون عندهم البارتس same size. Here, if you look at this colored one, هيدي كلها عندها نفس السايز اللي هن للوايت سوان اللي هن هدول السمول. لا مش نفس السايز. So I will divide this rectangle into equal parts. بما انه هون البارتس هن triangles صغار هقسمه للcolored part لtriangles صغار. So all parts should have the same size. Now, if you look at this triangle with this, with this, with this, and the one that's outside, all of them have the same size, okay? How many parts did I colored from these small triangles? I colored 4 out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 out of 8. So 4 out of the total اللي هو 8. So pay attention at the parts, they should have the same size. Here, all of them of same size. Let's count the colored. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Out of 6, 7, 8. Here, of same size. 3 out of 4. اللي هو التوtal. Okay, like this we write the fraction. The number of colored part up, the total number down. So, in the fraction 2 over 4, 2 is the numerator. 4 down, we call it denominator. Okay? Denominator represents the total number, when numerator represents the number of colored parts. طيب. Let's do exercise 1. Color to represent the fractions below. 3 out of 4 means this circle we divided into 4 equal parts. The total number of equal parts هو 4. لأنه الدينومينيتور هو 4 represents the total. ال 3 اللي هو numerator represents the number of colored parts. So we will color just 3. You will color on your math book just with pencil. You are not allowed to use colors. So when I say color, I mean in pencil. So look at the numerator and check how many parts we will color. The numerator is 3, so I will color 3. 1, 2, 3. Color any 3 parts. Now 5 out of 8. The total number هو 8. We will color how much? 5 out of 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 2 out of 3. So we will color 2 with 3 who is total number. 1, 2. We color 2 out of 3. Okay? Read the following sentences to fill. Numerator 4 with denominator 7. How do we write the fraction? Numerator اللي هو 4 it has to be up. Denominator D it has to be down. So 7 down, so 4 out of 7. Now, denominator 6, they reversed them. So denominator 6, so where should I place 6, up or down? D denominator. So it has to be down, 6 down. Numerator up اللي هو 1. So it's 1 out of 6. Okay, copy them on your math books, page 80 and 81. See you after the holiday. After the holiday, we will continue explanation more about fractions. Okay, I will miss you so much. Have a nice vacation. Thank you guys. Bye bye.